I'm an attorney, so you would expect me to issue a disclaimer, and you would be right. So tonight I'm here in my personal capacity. You know, the funny thing about disability is that when people see me, they think I know about all kinds of disabilities. Like if you're born with a disability, you just kind of get that downloaded, you know about everything. But, you know, my own understanding of disability has grown and changed over time. I was a kid who went to a separate school for kids with disabilities until 3rd grade. And so schools and hospitals and teachers and doctors became my first teachers about what disability meant. When I was born with a rare orthopedic condition, my parents knew immediately that I'd be spending a lot of time with doctors. And in fact, I had over 38 orthopedic surgeries before the age of 5. So I was either getting school at the hospital or I was getting some at home. And when I wasn't, I went to a separate school for kids with disabilities. What I learned there is that kids are sorted. Disabled, you go to a school across town. Non-disabled could go across the street to the school that I could see from my house. But that wasn't the school for me. In fact, maybe I could go there someday if I tried to be more normal. And so doctors and teachers told my parents and told me that should be my goal, to be more normal. Well, that's kind of hard when you have a disability, but here's the trick. You can try to be more normal if you fix yourself. So doctors said that my walking should be fixed, my appearance, just the way I got around in the world, so that I could fit into a world that wasn't about to change for me. So I learned pretty quickly from doctors that about the medical model of disability, that we try to focus on people with disabilities and make them into something else so that they can just be with us. But I also learned about the charitable model of disability, and that's the model that says non-disabled people get to decide if people with disabilities can be in their regular environments, that it's a choice every day if they want to be generous or not. So I lived with these two models until I got to college. And one of my professors was slowly losing her hearing. And she came up to me one day after school and she said, "Why aren't you working on your issues?" And I said, "What issues?" Right? Because I don't have any issues and you don't either. She said, "You need to be working on disability." And I said, "Why would I work on disability? There's nothing positive about that." She said, "You need to see yourself differently. Did you know there's a whole civil rights movement around disability? The people with disabilities fought and protested for the Americans with Disabilities Act and special education laws. They weren't just a gift given by non-disabled people." And I was shocked. I didn't know that. No one taught me that. Certainly not any teachers or doctors before. What she did was connect me with community. And I couldn't look back after that because that community told me that they had tried to fix themselves. Guess what? It hadn't worked out so well. And that others were trying to fix them too. What they told me was I wasn't crazy. I wasn't unreasonable for expecting the world around me to change. And that was pretty revolutionary. So you can imagine I brought this idea with me when I adopted our daughter with disabilities. And I took her to Seattle Public Schools only to see the same racial and disability segregation that I had experienced 25 years earlier in a different city, a different place. And I was surprised. This is when you could think I'm naive, but I'd like you to think better than that. So how do we change things? How do we change to more of a liberation model where we focus on people who are marginalized by our schools and ask them, invite them to be our leaders? I think it comes with a hard step. It means to come out about our disabilities as people who are disabled. But we know there's so much stigma around disability. I don't even like to share certain disabilities that I have, like ADD, because I think people think differently about me. But I sit in rooms where we amplify the voices of non-disabled people, parents and teachers all the time to speak for disability. And I know that people with disabilities can speak for themselves. So I think the braver step for us as a community is to start to expect to see disabled leaders in our schools as teachers, as principals, as school leaders. And we have a choice in making that change. So moving forward, I would invite you, if you have a disability and you feel comfortable in some settings, come on out. You'll find some community. If you aren't disabled, make a world in which other people can do that, because we all need community. Thanks.